My name is Steve. In this session, we're going to be learning how to use Visual Basic applications to go ahead and generate. We already have, in the last video, a drop-down box, and we're going to fill that drop-down box with items, and we're going to basically display it in the message box. So let's get started on that. So if you recall in the last example here, we actually produced a user form with some controls on it, and let me show you what that looks like right here. For those who may not have been following the first video, just name, city, and the only thing we do is we run it here, and it shows you click the command button. So we're going to edit this a little bit to change it so that you can kind of start building a program off of it. So first thing we're going to need to do here is we're going to fill that message box. I'm sorry, message box, the combo box. So I'm going to set up a comment section here. You want to get in the habit of using comments so that you can figure out what your code is doing. Oh, actually, I'm doing this in the wrong area. Actually, I skipped a step here. Sorry. The first thing you want to do is you want to change this to initialize. And this was generated when I clicked on the form, just for those who may have missed it here. Let me go back to when I clicked on this, it generated the click, and then you want to change that to user form initialize, just like you see there. So let's get back to our comments. ComboBox array, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to initialize a city that's going to, or a city array that's going to generate items inside of the combo box. These are just general cities in Arizona, at least in the Phoenix area. Okay, so we have our array. Oh. I left out a comment here. See, Visual Basic applications will figure out what you're doing. So if you leave something out, it's going to complain. So this is because I left a comment out there, or quote, excuse me, an open quote. So you want to set that up just like that. And now what we want to do, we want to fill it with information. So to do that, we're going to need to initialize some variables here. Now, I'll initialize them first here, and this is called the global section where variables are initialized, which means global means it's going to see them all across the form, and pretty much anywhere inside of the program. So we're going to use city view and city fill for the box. So down here, we're going to use a for each statement to fill it, starting with each section. City fill, we just create a variable name. So the city fill can be anything because you're just creating it inside of an actual loop. But you want to make it something close to what you've already generated in the program. And then we're going to say city view, because that's what we called our array. So we want it to be displaying Phoenix, Mesa, Scottsdale, Tempe, Sun City in the drop-down box. And then next, we're going to fill it with the combo box name, which is called CBO City. You're going to use a dot, use a period, and you're going to select add item. And then you're going to use the city fill, which is based off of the variable name, so it can fill it. So I'll run this just to show you right now that it worked. Oh, actually, I forgot my next statement. Don't forget your next, because you need a for and needs to end with a next. So we can go back here and we can save it, clicking on the icon or up here in File. And you click the green arrow to run it. Now you can click the drop-down box here. You'll see it filled the items in that we needed. So Phoenix, Mesa, Scottsdale, Tempe, Sun City. And if you hit Result, it's still going to do the same thing it did from the last program. So what we're going to need to do next here is we're going to make it display the item that we clicked on. So we're going to edit this message box here. You can just highlight it and erase it. And we'll just say city name, since that's what we're going to be displaying. You're going to hit space, and then next you're going to use what's called a concatenator. Use the and or the shift 7, and then here you're going to type in CBO city, since that's the name of the combo down here. So now when we click on the command button, you should see it say city name, and then it should show the city name that we selected each time. You select any city you want, Tempe, hit result, and there you got it, the name. So if you change it again, it'll display the new name, Mesa. Okay? Alright, so you can have multiple drop-down boxes, and if you remember from the first video, you can just drag them right here. Go over here, click one, and they're right here, right here, and just drag them to the form, and you can initialize them and fill them with the foreign groups and all that. But we're not going to do that for sake of saving time for this video. Next thing I want to show you is how to set a default box. This one's actually pretty simple. You always want to make it after the foreign actually. Somewhere where basically after you've done all your initialization and fill in your box. So we're going to use the same name, city, CBO city, because that's what we're filling, the combo box. You're going to use the dot indicator value, and then you're going to make it set equal to one of the values that you created, or items you created in the box there. I'm nearly working in the dark here, so bear with me a moment. Okay, so I'm going to default it to Tempe or something like that. So now, when you run the program again, it'll default with the box name that you selected. Now, if you use one that's not in the list, let's just say I use another city here, like Chandler is another city. If I use Chandler, it'll still default Chandler here, but it won't show up in your drop-down list because you never added it to your array. But you can do that simply enough by going back to your array and adding it. So let's just add it right in here somewhere. And then now it'll show up in both sections. There we go. Okay, so that's basically all I wanted to show you in this simple little tutorial video here, just to kind of get you guys going forward. Please subscribe if you like this, and I'll keep breaking it down section by section. Thanks for watching.